Hey everybody, welcome back. Stepping into turn 4 of our playthrough of Little Round Top from Avalon Hill. Just one little thing I kind of messed up on the last turn. Yes, I know. I'm not a clever man. I mess up rules all the time. The volley fire that I did from the 4th Alabama, I actually should have given a 1 column shift bonus for doing it. And honestly, it really wouldn't have affected anything. Then went back to take a look at the dice rolls, and even with the 1 column shift to the right, the dice rolls would have come out the same. But just something I need to remember for in the future. So we're going to go ahead and start off. The 83rd actually is getting some reinforcements this turn, so they'll be coming on. So what we're going to try to do is try to rally C Company. So rally on a 6. Nope. So now Captain Jones needs to figure out what he's going to spend his points on. He's only got 15. He's got 2 new units coming on. So let's go ahead. I think it's, 3 points for line formation. Yeah, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rotate. Now, the big thing is, do I try to move E Company up to reinforce, or do I just go ahead and spend the 5 points to get the 83rd or the C Company rallied? Because that's about all I'm going to have the points for, one or the other. Yeah, let's go ahead and move these guys up. So it's 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 3 points left. Yeah, go ahead and shift that company up as well. So now the 83rd is sitting nice and pretty. Don't like having that disorganized unit in the lead, but I figure since the other company's coming up from behind it and I don't have the command points to change frontages, well, we're stuck with that. So that's that. 20th Maine, really, they're not really going to be doing anything. So I guess that's it for the Union. Back over to the Confederates. Let's see, they've got a unit that's out of ammo. I think I have to actually give it a command and then they roll. And how much is that to try to salvage ammunition? Does not say on the command chart, so let's take a look at the rolls. Ammunition supply, I want to check. Gathering ammunition. Doesn't say. May automatically attempt to gather ammunition during a friendly command phase. Oh, okay. So it's an automatic thing. So, let's see, I don't believe I've got any disorganized rebels up here. You know what? Let's just go ahead, since we're going to be kind of focusing on these guys for a little bit. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can take a look-see at the action that's going up here with the 83rd Pennsylvania, if I can ever get the camera to stop moving all around. Yeah, I don't have any disorganized guys, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'll go ahead and check for out of ammo on those guys. Let's see if I move the dice right there, if we can see it. 1! Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Now, the problem is I gotta check the exact timing on that. Okay. Okay, so it's after change formation, fix remove bayonets, rally units under the command. Alright. Good thing to know. So, now we have to decide what we want to do, and what I think we want to do is these guys are going to perform volley fire. So it's 4, 8, and 12, 16 for these guys to do volley fire. And they've given, the commander's given the same order to 4 contiguous, oh, I can't even speak tonight. 4 adjacent units. So I get an additional 6, so he's got 11 points left, basically. So now what do I want to do with E Company? Because these guys are definitely going to keep peppering here. I think these guys are going to continue to pepper those guys because we know they're damaged already. Should I move the 4th Alabama up to try? You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's, so I've spent, what, 4, 8, 12, 16... 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23 for them to initiate melee. All right. Okay, so that's it with the Pennsylvania for movement up there. Oops, let's go ahead and pull back down and take a look at what the 47th Alabama is going to be doing. Let's see, they've got that guy in column formation, so we're going to take them out of column formation, which is 5. I'm going to move these guys up. They're in column, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's rotate them and take them out of line or column formation, which is 10, 15, 20, 5 points for each. So technically he's got 5 points left over, but he's not going to spend it. And 47th is just going to sit there and wait for the 15th to come up and get online. Because the 47th do not want to run up into the 20th Maine all by them all by their little lonesomes. So I guess we're going to go into combat phase. And if you remember, during the phasing player's turn, the opponent gets to do defensive fire first. So I think it's obvious that A Company is going to return fire here. So they've actually taken 1 point of damage. You know what? These, Captain Jones is going to throw in B Company as well. Since they're adjacent to each other, and neither one of them's in volley fire, they can combine their firepower. So it's going to be 5 points firing there. And let's see, what modifiers? Let's see. Yeah, left. One firing unit has been ordered to initiate a melee, so it's 1 column to the left. Oh, the firing unit. That's now looking at the. Okay. Column, rear hex side. Defending. Okay, 1 column to the right if defending unit is attempting to initiate melee. Okay. Okay, so I guess it's going to be 1 column shift to the right. So that's 5, which is going to make the 6 to 7 column. Which is a 6, which is a big fat nothing. Not good for the Union forces. And then these guys right here are going to go ahead and try to fire here. Didn't have the command points to put them in volley fire or switch them out. They have 2 strength points, but they're disorganized, so they're down to 1 strength point. That's a 3, that's a nothing. All right, so that's defensive fire. Now, offensive fire. Let's go ahead and start with those guys. Let's see. I don't think they've taken any casualties yet. E Company. They have taken casualties. They've got 2 points, or strength 2. 1 column shift to the left if they have been ordered to initiate a melee attack. So they're a 1. And I don't think you can go below a 1. So even though they're going to be firing uphill, so they're on the 1 column as well. I get a 2, which is a big fat goose egg. All right, now these guys in volley fire. Let's see, that's C and D company. And C company has taken a strength point loss, so there's a grand total of 5 strength points there. However, 5 points is the maximum that 2 companies can volley fire out anyways, so they're good on that. So it's going to be a 5. It's going to be a 1 column shift to the right because of the volley fire. And it is going to be 1 back to the left because they're being fired on by a company, or they're 1 elevation level. I don't know if you can see that real well, but there is the elevation line right there. So I haven't been throwing that in, but I should be. So +1 for volley fire, -1 for firing uphill. So it's still going to be on the 5 column. And we got a 3, which is a disorganized. So that is actually might help out the Rebel company. That's going to be moving into hand-to-hand. And then we have A company and B company. And neither one of those, so they're at full strength, which is 6, but the maximum they can fire out is a 5. Volley fire shifts it up 1 column, no elevation changes, no elevation differences. So this is actually going to be on the 6 column, which is a 3, which is another disorganized. Is it the unit in the lead, or is it all units that take the disorganized? So fire combat. Let's see. Weapons range. Yeah. Volley fire results. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look on the results table. Usually, fired on company is disorganized. If already disorganized, company loses 1 strength, remains as disorganized, and must check morale. I don't think you can declare. Is it the lead? Fire combat. All companies are not information if they fire their weapons at enemy units that are within range and line of sight. This is both offensive and defensive. No, a company may fire at any enemy unit, so it's not by hex. So we're going to go after the top unit. So they're already disorganized, so they'll lose another strength point, which is C Company of the 83rd Pennsylvania, and remain disorganized and have to take a morale test. And they're B morale, but they've lost 2 strength points, which drops it down to D. Drops it to E for being fired on through volley fire. Drops it down to F for being disorganized. So yeah, we're looking at the F column, which is a 1. Ooh, they actually stand hard. That's the best dice roll they could have gotten. Anything else would have affected them. So that's actually a bit of a surprise. They managed to stand firm. And that. Oh no, we got the melee. So melee is basically comparing strength differentials. So let's see. 4th Alabama E Company is a 2. 83rd Company A is a 2, so that's a 1-to-1, which is a 0 combat results table. The differential is 0. However, okay, +1 total melee strength for each friendly officer, and then a hex, present regimental flag, none. Add 1 strength point to the melee strength of the attacker if they have fixed bayonets. Nope. Attacking company entered the defender's hex. Nope. Add 1 melee point to the total melee strength of the defender if any of the attacker's units crossed stone wall, rock, or fence. Defenders are in a rock. Nope, that's not. So there's nothing for being disorganized. Could have swore that there was a, I think that's a minus, yeah, I think it's a -1 for being disorganized, always, for any type of fire combat or melee combat. Let's see if we can. Yeah, disorganized units have their melee strength reduced by 1. So it's actually a 2-to-1 odds. And let's go ahead and show you the melee table real quick. Go ahead and zoom this back out so you can see the melee table real quick. So basically you take the combat differential, and so we're looking at the +1 because the Confederates have +1 strength, and then the 6-sided dice roll will tell you what the effects are. So there's no modifiers for terrain, walls, anything like that. So we got a 2 on the +1 column, which is a Defender R. And that is all units in the hex of that side must retreat 2 hexes and are disorganized. So they're going to have to retreat 2 hexes. Units that were already disorganized lose 1 strength point. Well, no, all units in that hex must retreat 2 hex sides and are disorganized. So if they were disorganized before, do they take the strength point loss? Or just the retreat? Retreat effects. Terrain, officers. What's their facing, though? Units that retreat must attempt to move exactly 2 hexes from the hex in which the retreat occurred. Retreating units may not enter enemy-occupied hexes, must immediately stop upon entering enemy zone of control. A unit that is unable to retreat at least 1 hex is completely eliminated. Within these restrictions, retreating units must obey. Okay, retreat effects. Officers stacked with units that retreat may either retreat with the unit or remain. Units may adjust their facing to any hex side after performing a retreat. Okay, that's good. That answered that. Now what about melee combat? If they were already disorganized. I think because they were disorganized, they just retreat the 2 hexes and not lose the strength point. And I don't think, do the winners occupy, let's see, do the winners, oh, okay, there is no movement cost for the attacking units to enter the defender's hex. Yeah, so okay, so since melee is me moving into the hex, they will get to go ahead and advance into there. And A company is good where they're at, and that's actually all of melee. So then we'll go ahead and remove the administration counters, and that is going to be it for turn 4. Do we want to try to do turn 5? Already at 20 minutes. We're going to be getting the 15th Alabama on. Yep, you know what? Let's go ahead and cut it here. It's a good time to cut it. So, there we go. 83rd Alabama, or the 4th Alabama, is pushing up the hill to the 83rd, and we're going to see what happens next turn. Hopefully, Captain Jones up there can pull things around, and we're going to be getting the 15th Alabama on, so we're going to be doing a lot of maneuvering with that next turn. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section, and I will talk to everybody later. See ya!